but Warren, how are you? Welcome to the third part of the Counsellor series. And today's question was, do you want to be well? Firstly, the Springboks one. Did I want them to win? Different story. I was hoping that Japan would just be historic today and get into the semi-finals. But of course, that's what I wanted. But what needed to happen happened. So I'm glad that literally happened. Back to the official question. Do you want to be well? Warren, please tell us what the impact of the word want actually is in that question.
Thank you. Well done to the Springboks. And it was tough watching the rugby with Nella shouting for the Japanese rugby team. But like you said, it's not what you want. That word want is what sums it all up, because it's about the actual desire. And when we understand that the desire is what drives the outcome, then you look at the outcome many times in our lives and say, but that's not the outcome that I think I want. But then what is it that is really driving it? There's something else there, something that you really want. So that word, so key. Do you want to be made well? And it's a question we have to ask ourselves all the time.
I think all the time we say yes. So if you ask that person to someone, they'll always say, yes, I want to. Financially, I want to. In terms of my health, I want to. When I'm running now. So I really want to be well.
How easy was it to go for a run?
Horrible. I'm a black woman, so now I'm running around with no one chasing me. It's a big deal in my culture. But it's happening because I'm committed to wellness. Okay, I fail and I get up again and I try. But it's a very difficult subject. And why do you think, Warren, that personal wellness is such a difficult choice for people?
So again, key word, personal, and that's often what it is. So when you ask the question superficially and we say the answer is easy, yes, I want to be well, but are you willing to confront whatever those other issues are that are very personal, that often keeps us trapped in those areas? So there is another reason, and I don't think often we want to face up to those reasons as to what is keeping us there. So do you want to be in a financial stable position? Yes, but are you willing to give up? And that's the other part. So it's not just what you want, it's are you willing to give up what you currently are doing, because again, there's something there that you're doing that's keeping you there. So if you're not willing to give that up, then you can't answer and say, yes, sure, I do want to be well in this area because I'm not willing to give this up. Sure. And are you willing to confront? So we become masters at sidestepping, to use some rugby terms, at making sure that we don't deal, we conceal, that we keep things that we should actually be confronting, and all of that just adds into that same question. Do you really want to be made well?
That's absolutely true, Warren. And again, we try. Like, some people try, some people don't try. And some people will always claim, often actually, that they don't know where to start. So Warren, just your advice, what personal steps can we take to achieve, personal wellness?
So that's probably part of this message that I love the most, is how individual it is. Sure. So the onus, the responsibility is not on me. It's on every other single individual who wants to be made well. And I don't think it's rocket science. I don't think it's a big thing. In fact, I would even dare to say you can do the wrong thing, but just do something. True. So are you going to get it right the first time? Maybe you're not going to get it right. Maybe instead of doing the spot on, like, perfect thing, you do something that's just a little bit less. And I'm saying that's 100% better than what you were doing. So whatever it might be, take that first step. And that's between you and the Lord. It's between you and common sense. It's between you and honesty. And that's the real part about it. Yeah. Because if you're willing to be honest about it, you are going to find whatever that next step is. Yes, there are people to help and more than willing to help, but really, it's between you and the Lord and you and yourself. That's where the battle takes place.
Listen, exactly that battle. So I try to eat healthy, Warren, and then I fail. And then I try to eat healthy, and then I fail. And then I got to a point where I realized I can't do this in my own strength. I try, I really can't. So I literally need God's strength and His power to be able to achieve that. And I realize it makes a huge difference. Emotionally, mentally, my focus just changes. Where now I stop trying, with my own capability and rely on God's power. How important is it that we rely on God's power to overcome our disabilities and achieve His desires for our lives?
Okay, so this is big.
Okay.
It's not about the outcome.
Sure.
It's about God receiving the glory. And that's where we often get it wrong. Our focus is so much on the outcome. So we look and we say, well, I want to achieve that result. What do you think God wants to achieve? Do you think He wants to achieve that result? Like that's the best thing that's ever going to happen? Because it's probably the smallest thing that you can think of, that you are aware of in your life. And you know what God is aware of? He's aware of every single other area that you haven't even seen yet. He's aware of the things in your life that are maybe even deeper and darker and more difficult. And He says, just watch how much that is going to glorify me.
Sure.
But we just need to take this first step. And when you can learn to rely on my strength instead of your own, then we can get going. And then He's going to show you things, He's going to lead you down a path, and He's going to help you with things that you didn't have a clue about. And ultimately, so that you look back and you say, there was no way. Like, there was no way that I could ever have done that in my own strength. There was only one way that I got this right.
Yeah.
And that was because I didn't even know that I needed to do it. Never mind how to do it, and I knew I couldn't do it. And that's to give God the glory. And then, let's answer that question. Do you want to be made well? And when God asks you that, and you honestly say, yes, and He says, just watch.